After that session, I think I've made my mind up about Gold Coast.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by and checking out this video. And I guess, as you can gather by the title of this video, I've made my decision about the Gold Coast Marathon and that sub 3 hour attempt. Gold Coast Marathon, just 2.5 weeks away now. And I'm going to reveal that decision a little bit later in this video, guys. But I've come to the decision because of two main reasons. Firstly, you. Everyone out there who watches this channel and takes the time to comment on the videos. Some of your comments to my latest video where I was still 50-50 on having a crack at the sub 3 hour marathon there at the Gold Coast. Your comments really cleared the murky waters for me, and in the end it was a really easy decision to make. But I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later in this video when I do reveal my decision. And secondly was the long run session that I did at the weekend just past. That just really reaffirmed to me that the decision that I've made is the correct one.
Oh, wow, that was tough. Oh man. I got no words for that at the moment. Oh man. Whew. Well, after that session, I think I've made my mind up about Gold Coast. Yes, I think I'm comfortable with it too.
You could probably guess that was a tough session and it didn't really go to plan. The aim for that long run session was a 3k warm up and a 3k cool down, and in the middle was to be 6 by 3 kilometers at marathon pace at 4 minutes 15 per kilometer for a 3 hour marathon, with a 2 kilometer recovery at about 30 seconds slower than marathon pace. Now, I got through almost 5 of them. The last kilometer of the 5th set, I just fell way off the pace. It was really windy, and that last kilometre of that 5th interval, I was just belting back into the wind, and the pace dropped off about 10 to 12 seconds, and I just wasn't able to bring it back. And I just thought to myself, it's pointless even trying to attempt the next one. I was working way too hard. The heart rate was elevated. So I just pulled the pin. I did the 2k recovery after that set, and then just finished off with a 4 kilometre cool down. So all in all, it was only 32 kilometres. So I fell 4 kilometres short on the distance that I was hoping for. I think in the back of my mind, and I'm going to get to this in a second, that decision, I knew that I wasn't going to hit those paces. Take away the wind, yeah, sure, it was windy, and yes, I did run into the wind quite a bit, but to be honest, the wind was pushing me just as much on some of those reps as well. The decision, I think, was pretty easy to make after that long run session. Now, I spoke earlier in the video, guys, how you had helped me come to this decision. Some of your comments to the last video, and I've got to thank everyone who not only watched the video, but those people who did take the time to comment, really did open my eyes a little bit wider. Think a little bit sort of outside my close-knit circle. And those comments ranged from, you've got this, go get that sub-3, to what are you doing? You're pushing too hard, you're going to end up injuring yourself. But the most common thread with all those comments was, as a coach, what would you advise your runners to do? And that just was something that I hadn't even contemplated, I hadn't thought about. And it made me think that what I was planning to do is not what I would advise my runners to do. In fact, I would be advising my runners to, let's reset some goals. We've had a compromised training block. Let's just enjoy this run, reset, pick another event and get a really solid training block into the next event, and then attack that time goal. Sure, I had built a really solid aerobic base preparing for that Ultra Trail Australia 100k event, but when that event was postponed and I rolled over into the marathon training block, 2 weeks in, COVID, and COVID has just wiped me out. 4 weeks pretty much lost out of a 10-week training block has just left me way off the pace. So guys, that decision for the Gold Coast Marathon, that sub-3 hour attempt, is off. I've decided that if I was to go ahead and attack that 3 hour barrier off the compromised training block that I've had leading into it, I'm not setting a good example for the athletes, the runners that I coach. And when I sat down and thought about that, the decision was really quite easy to make. And as I said there, after that long run session, I'm really comfortable with that decision now. I now know that here and here, it's the right decision. I am not in shape to run 3 hours at the Gold Coast Marathon. I'm just not comfortable running the paces at the moment. The last 2 sessions have absolutely proved that. My heart rate is still quite elevated. Those marathon pace sessions that I've been doing, my heart rate has been sitting in the mid 140s. Now when you compare that to my all-out 5 kilometre efforts, when my heart rate doesn't get any higher than 150, to be 30 seconds slower running those marathon paces, but the heart rate is so close to what it would be running that 5k effort, it just shows me that I'm just not quite there. Whether it's because of COVID, I'm still having the effects of COVID, whether it's also an age thing, guys, I'll be 56 in a couple of weeks, maybe age is starting to catch up with me and those paces are just not as comfortable as they once were. Or maybe, you know, as I just said, maybe I'm just not in shape yet to run those sort of times. Now I'm going to list everyone who commented on that last video up here, guys, because all of you, whether it was positive, negative, you all have contributed to this decision, and I want to thank you all so much for taking the time to, you know, sit down and comment on that video and just really clear the waters for me, because without your comments I think I probably would have kept pushing, and I know now that was not the right thing to do, not only for me but also for setting an example for my runners. So guys, fantastic, really, you know, hats off to all of you for doing that. Again, it just absolutely blows my mind that there are so many people that are interested in my running journey, how I'm inspiring some of you to get out the door and run, but it's a two-way street. You know, I might be inspiring you, but by you watching these videos and those comments, the comments to all my videos are really inspiring me to keep going, keep making these videos. A big thumbs up to everyone who has not only commented on the last video, but all the videos that I've made here on the channel. Look, I'm still going to go to the Gold Coast, I'm still going to run it, have a little bit of fun, but the time really is irrelevant now to me. Go there, get a good solid long run under the belt. Pressure's off now. I know I've still got a week of this training block to go before I head into a taper, but there's no point pushing on. One of the comments was that, you know, you push on, you're going to hurt yourself. And if I do that, push on, hurt myself, not only wipes out the Gold Coast, but also wipes out the Melbourne Marathon and anything else I had planned in between now and then. So smart move is to back off from the 3-hour attempt at the Gold Coast, reset, get a solid marathon training block going into Melbourne, run a good half marathon at the Sunshine Coast in August, and also get some more 5k and 10k hard efforts behind me as well, because I think that's what I've been lacking, is that top end pace. And that's why I'm finding that 4 minutes 15 3-hour marathon pace just a little bit difficult at the moment.